to talk about owning a business in America as a so-called African American who really knows that I'm an Israelite. I'm fully awake, but I just wanted to touch on how it was for me owning a business. I owned a couple businesses. I owned a janitorial service and a coffee shop. I started my business back in 2007 when I joined a franchise called Jan Pro Cleaning Systems. I just saw a flyer, an ad in a magazine with offers to own your own business. It was my first time. I never owned a business before. I had a little money. I think I had like 30,000 in one account, some credit cards. I don't know how much in the other account, but I was doing pretty good. I owned my own house, 3 bedroom, 2 bath, 2-car garage at the time, and I was married, 2 kids, 2 boys. Well, my boys wasn't. Well, one boy was born, Junior. He was born in 2005, but I started the business in 2007. Well, I joined the franchise in 2007. They had me take a 5-week business course and did some background checks, stuff like that. Then, of course, I passed the background checks with flying colors. So I paid the money. I bought the lowest plan that they had, and I wasn't trying to spend a lot of money because I wasn't sure whether I would be successful in this endeavor. So, but they got me my first account, my first job. It was a pretty nice one for only one account. I get paid $12.50 a month, and I think it only took like an hour a day, and I think it was a 3-day-a-week account. So I did very well at that. So they offered me other accounts, and the business grew under them. But if you know anything about franchises, they come with, you have to pay royalties, franchise fees, sales and marketing fees, they pay your insurance, they get you your accounts, but you pay your own taxes, and you have to pay anybody that you hire to work for you. Basically like a subcontractor. That's what you are. And they get the check, and they pay you. They take theirs off the top, then they cut you a check for the rest. So they're like the middleman between you and their account. Now, had I been smarter, I'd have figured that out sooner and got out of it. But I was dead set on trying to make this work, trying to be successful. So I did it for 5 years. I stayed with Jan Pro to 2012. Well, I had enough. And I felt like, you know what? striking out on my own. I did that. I started up a business, and I named it Holmes Cleaning Services. Now, after I left JanPro, I only had one account left. That's one account liked us so much that they didn't want JanPro to send them anybody else. So they lied and said they didn't need their services anymore. That they were gonna go with their own people. They'll find somebody on their own. All the while, which was against, I signed a non-compete document saying that I wouldn't compete with them for business. But it was the only one that I had. So for a while, to make ends meet, because during then, the gas prices started to rise. After that, that hurricanes hit and stuff like that, the gas prices rose, and it cost a lot of money, to travel back and forth to these accounts. And then the housing market just killed me. I mean, I had to refinance, and when I refinanced my home, it was more than I could afford. So I was really struggling to try to make this work. So I took on other jobs. I started driving taxis, ice cream truck, medical patients. I was doing everything I can to try to make ends meet. And then in 2012, I had to file bankruptcy. Oh yeah, I filed bankruptcy. So when I filed bankruptcy, I started over. No, that's when I started Holmes Cleaning Service. No, I didn't. No. Let me back up. No, it wasn't 2012. No, it wasn't 2000. Was it? I'm getting old. But anyway, I started Holmes Cleaning Services, and I had that one account then. I took on, by the grace of God and His blessings, I got out there and I passed out flyers and business cards, and then I had a doctor's office call me and asked me, to come clean their building. I took that, and then one of my accounts that left JanPro called me, and I took that one. Next thing I know, I was back in business. I had before I knew it, I had 9 accounts, So, man, then in 2000, what was it? A few years later, I decided I didn't want the business to be named Holmes Cleaning Services anymore, so I changed the name to Clean Sweep Janitorial Services. Janitorial Solutions. Clean Sweep Janitorial Solutions. I still have that. Sorry about that, I'm back. Let me back it up. While I was at Holmes Cleaning Services, I hired quite a few people. I had a team. I helped a lot of people also. I helped families. I helped young men, that needed to be shown a better way. I talked to a lot of them, and I guided them. I like to say by giving them a job, and I opened the office, and then, but to make a long story short, yeah, I did a lot as homes cleaning services. Then, like I said, I changed the name a few years later to Clean Sweep Janitorial Solutions, and I took on a partner, a female who happened to be a pastor. And but before that, let me back that up. While I was Clean Sweep, I was doing pretty good. Had an office, trying to build an office team and a cleaning team. Even went into doing residential cleaning a little bit. Didn't like that. You do more work cleaning houses than you actually do cleaning businesses. They require a lot more out of you, your people, and they don't want to pay as much. So it's less pay and more work cleaning houses. So I didn't like that. Then I took on very little housework. I mean, I cleaned carpets and strip and wax floors and clean tile, stuff like that. I did just about anything if you needed me to. You know what I'm saying? Should I get out there and cut your grass too? Trim some hedges? I do it all. But while I was a Clean Sweep, I got this call from this guy, a realtor, asked me to come give him an estimate. So I went to give him an estimate, and when I got there, he told me to just walk around and then come back to him with a price. Walk around, check the place out, come back to him with a price. So I walked around, and when I was done, I went to his office and with a number in my head, and then but we started small talk. Then all of a sudden he asked me, did I see the coffee shop? I'm like, what coffee shop? So he said, oh, you didn't see it? As soon as you come in the door, there it is. I'm like, really? I didn't see it. I thought I walked all around the place and thought I saw everything. So he took me back to the front of the building and into the coffee shop, and it was just empty. But I was like, wow. Plus he had other vacancies, and I was telling them that I needed another office. I was looking for interested in maybe renting another office, and he was like, maybe we can come up with some kind of deal, a plan. I'm like, oh, okay, hey, I'm open. Maybe we could work out a deal. So but I thought he was like joking. Everybody says that. They'll work with you and stuff like that. I just had a number in my head, So, plus it had an upstairs, but they didn't want that big yet till they finished working up there. So, when I went into his office, he was on the phone with the owner of the building. Now, the owner of the building, he gave me the phone. He had already told this guy that I wanted the office and I was interested in the coffee shop. It works like I'm gonna rent the office and the coffee shop at the same time. And when I got on the phone with him, this guy, he was making me, before I could say anything, he was like, before you say anything, hear me out. Now, he sounded like, the Godfather. I'm going to make you a deal that you can't refuse. And Sure enough, I couldn't. You know, the lease for the coffee shop was so low that I was like, oh man, did God just drop this in my hand? Next thing I know, I was signing a lease for a coffee shop against my wife's, you know, judgment. She didn't want me to do it. Yeah, she wanted me to take her on trips instead of opening up a coffee shop. She started calling the coffee shop my mistress because I spent so much time and money in that place. But I really enjoyed it. I mean, but let me tell you about it. It took me 4 months to actually open the doors to actually start doing business. 4 months to get the licensing. You know, I needed the food license. I needed, they made me jump through hoops to get this place open. And then when I finally got the place to where I can actually open the doors, you know, I had that fire department come in, check the place out, and then, you know, when I opened the doors, I set a sign on the sidewalk and with some balloons on it for my grand opening, and some flyers in the windows. And code enforcement came by. These 2 white guys, code enforcement came by and told me I had to take the balloons off the sign, and I couldn't have the sign on the sidewalk, and I had to take the stuff out the window. I had to go to City Hall, and I went several times. But the first time I went, I was like, because you know, when I left to go home, I saw, you know, most of the business on that street had sidewalk signs. So I went to City Hall the next day and asked them, why can't I have a sidewalk sign? And they went in their big book and said, well, let's see if you can. They went in this big black book and opened it up. I mean, it was a big book. And they said, oh, you can have a sidewalk sign. So I'm like, code enforcement came and told me I couldn't have the sign. I mean, I should have known it was going to be what it was going to be like. But I took on partners, you know, for the coffee shop, because it got to a point where, you know, I couldn't keep the doors to the coffee shop open and take care of my cleaning business, my cleaning service. You know, I had to be up like 4 o'clock in the morning to get down to the coffee shop, stay there all day, because, you know, I couldn't afford to hire anybody. We tried hiring people, but my first partner, he lied to me. He told me he had $40,000 in the bank. You know, he cashed in his 401k, and he had $40,000 to invest. Turns out he lied to me. And then we got in a big fight, and we parted ways. I mean, not a physical fight, but, you know, an argument, and we parted ways. You know, so, and then I was working day and night. I mean, I had to be there 4 o'clock in the morning. Then I had to go to the you know, clean my accounts, be there to supervise at 5 o'clock at night when businesses started to close. You know what I mean? So, and I'm there from anywhere from 5 to 12 or 1 in the morning. And, you know, then I'm back. I got to get back up and go. My wife didn't want to help me. You know, I basically had no help because she was totally against the coffee shop. So I was on my own. And I really had no support. And you have to have support trying to do something like this. So that's my thing and finally, I do believe that broke up my marriage. So anyway, I thank y'all for listening, and I thank y'all for watching the video, showing your support. I thank you for the comments, and please like the video or dislike, whichever you prefer. Like, share, and subscribe, and give me your comments. Let's talk about it. If you have similar experience or whatever, but I love business. I love business ventures. I love seeing something grow from the ground up. So anyway, till next time, thank you guys. Later.